Hey guys, it's Alyssa and I'm finally back with another What Sold video. It has been several months since I have recorded one, and I have been planning to record one for a while, but it just kept getting pushed back because I was like, well, I guess I'll wait another month and then do that month's sales in addition to whatever other month's sales I need to share with you guys. And so yeah, this has just taken way too long for me to get to this, and partly the reason has been just I haven't been as active on my Etsy shop as I've shared in recent, videos. Really, 2025 has just been a year for me of like, I'll go strong for a little bit and then dip. And as you know, at the beginning of the year, I had massive burnout. And so I had like 2 months, if not 3 months, where I was really hardly doing anything. And so it's been only more recently where I've started to really pick back up again and feel like I'm getting back to the place where I was last year, where I was, getting consistent sales and then also being super consistent with posting videos, or at least a little more consistent, and, on Instagram and all of that stuff. So I'm working on it. We're getting there. It's getting better, but that is why this video has taken so long to come out. So we are going to be going over the sales for my Etsy shop since the month of May, because I believe the last one I posted was in May, and so it wouldn't have the sales for the whole month, because that was giving you sales from different months. Because again, I don't know why, but it's just crazy for me to do these videos every single month. I do believe sales are picking back up again, and I have set a goal for myself for each month, which I think is helping me a lot. And so I will let you know at the end what that goal is and kind of where I feel like I've been with that recently, because I did hit it for my last month that I'll share in this video, which is August. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to hit it for September, so that's really exciting. So yeah, I will go ahead and start off with the sales from the month of May. All right, starting us off in May, we have an order that was a pink glass bunny. And this was actually from a subscriber here on YouTube, so thank you so much for ordering. I love to see when people head over to my Etsy shop from YouTube. It's so sweet. So thank you so much for this order. And you left a 5-star review, which is awesome, because I always love to hear from my customers and shoppers and hear their opinions. I have a little note in my thank you card that I send with every order, just reminding people to leave me their thoughts, because I truly appreciate it and it helps a lot. If you're an Etsy shop, if you're an Etsy shop owner, you know how much it helps. The next order was for a really cute vintage hummingbird music box, and this is also one where I got a 5-star review from this person that bought this from me. So that was so awesome, again, to hear the thoughts from that customer. And those were the 2 sales I got for the month of May. So pretty light month, but as you'll see, over the summer, that was kind of a norm for me. Like I said, I was a little bit in and out with the Etsy shop stuff, not really posting too many new items. But as we keep going, I think you'll see that it's picked up a little bit. For the month of June, I did get a sale for this really cool teal bottle. It was like a decorative glass bottle with a cork. And that was really neat because it actually sold to somebody on an army base. And so that's the first time I've ever had to ship something like that. And I think it was overseas, which I don't actually have overseas shipping. But if you are on a military base, it still kind of works the same way as if you were shipping it within the United States. I don't know how that all works, but I have actually had to deal with that with my work as well, because we have like a merch shop at where I work and I have to ship sales out for that. And so I've had a very similar situation where somebody on an army base bought a t-shirt and we sent it to them, even though they were like stationed in Germany, but it was still like US prices. It's really interesting how that all works. The military, We got another sale in the month of June, and that was this really cute ceramic yellow bud vase, and I was really excited about that sale. So those were the 2 for the month of June. Moving on to July, I did get a really awesome sale of these 4 pink glass mugs. I had actually 8 of these, and I decided to divide them up into a set of 2, 4 in each set. And these got a lot of attention right away on Etsy. Lots of favorites, lots of people adding them in their cart. And so for the longest time, it would be like 4 people have these in their cart, 5 people have these in their cart. And, I knew eventually these were going to sell out, because they were obviously very popular. So the first set sold, and I was again excited about that. Next sale in the month of July was probably my biggest sale this year, and that was this really beautiful vintage needlepoint butterfly and gingham pillow. It has beautiful butterflies on it with like a gingham print all around. Embroidered stuff just does really well. Needlepoint stuff just is so popular right now on Etsy. So this pillow sold for $70, and again, that was my biggest sale for the year. I think it hasn't been beaten yet. There's been some close, but nothing to top it. Sorry, my cat is back here. She's going after those flowers. I knew she was going to do that. She can't help herself. If there's flowers that are anywhere close to her, she has to try and eat them. She's going to do what she's going to do. I just have to let her live. Last sale for the month of July was this really adorable little ceramic bud vase. It was miniature, like this big, but super, super cute. And that was the last sale that I got for the month of July. So picked up a little bit in July, got 3 sales instead of 2. That was, well, and that's why she needs to stop. Okay, I'm back after that little disaster. Where were we? All right, all the sales for July. Again, was super happy that July had a few more sales, only one more sale than June and May did. Moving on to August, this is where things definitely started to pick up a little bit more. So I got a sale early on in the month of July, or early on in the month of August, for this set of little lamb ceramic figurines. Figurines are something that I'm kind of new-ish in. I've had some figurines on my Etsy shop before, some that have actually still been on the shop since I first started it, but it's just not something I'm very familiar with, so I'm always really iffy on when I see them, should I get them? Because I just don't know much about these. But these were actually given to me for free. My mom, I believe, found them, and she had done like a Google Lens on it and saw some other comps, and I did some research and saw it had decent comps. And so yeah, I was like, okay, I'll add these to my shop, even though it's something a little different than what I normally sell. But you can let me know, if you're an Etsy shop owner, if figurines is something that you sell and find success in. I do think that there is a market for them for sure, especially if you can find things like the Staffordshire dogs and stuff like that. I'm always on the lookout for those, but I never seem to find something quite like that. All right, moving on to the next sale in the month of August. This was just from a couple days after that one. I sold that second set of pink glass mugs. So again, those got lots and lots of attention on Etsy, so I knew they were gonna sell out. The next sale for the month of August was this little Japanese swan. It was a porcelain swan that had a, it was kind of like a trinket dish, but like the swan body was the main part of the trinket dish little holder thing. And also it had like all these pretty florals around it and a unicorn horn for whatever reason on the swan's head. It was a little different, but I really thought it was pretty cool. So that sold. Another sale for the month of August was a set of vintage Disney stamps. I've shared this before, but I actually partner up with my uncle to sell some vintage stamps for him because he is a stamp collector. And so I don't get the majority of that sale money. We do like an 80-20 split. So then the next sale in the month of August was this really cool vintage brass apple paperweight. If you watched my video from a couple weeks ago of me showing you some new items that I had recently gotten, this came from a trip to Millersburg area in Ohio, so like Amish country. We went to an antique mall and found some cute things, and this was one of them. So this really was not on the Etsy shop for too long before it got snatched up. All right, and then I think this is the last sale for the month of August. That was a vintage 1972 Dooley and the Snort Snoot book by Jack Kent, which is an illustrated children's book. And again, I remember sharing this in that video. I think it's in the same one with the apple and like the other items that I had gotten from that trip. I added some vintage books because I was given these by some family members, and they were like, sell them if you can, don't worry about it, like if you make money on it, it's all yours. And I sold one of them, so I was really excited about that. So I ended up adding some more vintage books to my Etsy shop, and that is in the previous video where you can see the haul of some of the books that I got. But because this one sold right away, I was like, you know what, maybe I need to think about books, because especially if it's a vintage children's book and one that might be harder to find, there can be a market for that. And this sold for like $45. So this was a pretty cool find in my opinion. And again, it was something that was given to me for free, so I made 100% profit on that. How can you argue with that? So as you can see, the month of August really picked up in sales, which was really exciting. And I have set the goal for myself for the rest of the year to try and make it to 5 sales per month. So let's see, how many did I get in August? We had 6, but one of them was the stamps, so that probably doesn't really count. Like, it's an order, it's a sale, it goes towards my total, but I don't get the full amount of that. So I would say it's more like 5. So I hit that mark, and I'm hoping to hit that again in September. And I'm hoping that I will also have a video for you at the beginning of October, sharing with you what I sold in the month of September. Anyways, guys, I hope you really enjoyed seeing what I have sold on my Etsy shop the past few months. Like I said, planning to pick this up every single month once again, especially if I have more sales and I'm hitting that 5 sale mark every single month, then there'll be more for me to share. But if it's more like what you saw in June and May, then it's like, can I do one whole video for just 2 sales? Seems a little bit of a stretch. So that's kind of why I delayed some of these. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you are enjoying this content. Like I said, really trying to pick things back up and get into just, you know, more regular posting of videos and also stuff on Etsy. So thank you guys for watching, and I will catch y'all next time. Bye!